Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Ahmed Sheikh Ibrahim, a student of Father O'Connell Science College, Mina. Yesterday, I learned that our body is our own, and we're not supposed to borrow to somebody. And if we saw somebody jumping around our fence, we should shout up or give it out to somebody that we can help us. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So still important conversation, still on the conversation of owning your own autonomy. You're a person of your own. You should be able to say yes, you should be able to say no, and you should be able to speak up when your boundaries are being violated. Who's for? Hurry.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Asma Abdullahi, a student from Hilltop Model School. Yesterday, I learned that don't allow anybody to deceive you, and the strength of true human comes from the innermost ability. Thank you.
Thank you. Very important quote. A strength of the true human comes from their innermost ability, which is true. You know, you need to always rely on that inner gut. If you feel like something is off somewhere, then talk to somebody. You know, it might be that there's no problem, but it's better to speak to someone else, to speak to an adult you trust, to tell a teacher, to tell your parents, and then find out that, okay, that wasn't a problem, than to keep it in and along the line realize that, you know, you should have spoken up, right? Who's number 5? How many number 5s do I have? You're 6. You're the last person. What number are you? Okay, it's fine.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aramide Simeon. I am a student from Royal Hilton School. Yesterday, I learned what consent means. Consent means FGKIA, fully giving knowledgeable, informed agreement. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you remember. Hashtag FGKIA. Consent is a freely given, knowledgeable, informed agreement by a person with the capacity to reason. Number 5 again. Don't worry, you come out after her.
Good morning. My name is Miriam, and I'm a student of New Horizons College. And I learned that we should be able to trust our parents enough to tell them whenever something is wrong with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a very important point. You know, some of us, sometimes we feel like our parents are not cool enough. You know, they don't know what's up. They don't know what's going on. But, you know, they're your parents for a reason. You know, they care about you. They are interested in your growth. And most times when they discipline you, it's not because they are not so cool. It's that they need to let you learn. They need to let you grow. And they're the number 1 people you should be able to trust, right? If for any reason you feel like you can't trust them, you should be able to trust another adult. But primarily, you should learn to trust your parents. They would protect you. Don't listen to anybody saying, oh, your parents will not believe you, they will harm you. Your parents will protect you. That's why they're your parents. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Esther Olagunjoluwatoyin, and I'm from Government Amide Secondary School. I learned that for parents that we should trust and also verify, and as students, we should learn how to create boundaries. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was actually a point I went home to with, you know, I think it was Dr. Nuruddin Limu that said, trust but verify. So that's a very, very important lesson. Please, a round of applause for everyone who... Are you guys cold? Let's stand up. Up. Okay, sit down, sorry. Stand up. 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 Is everyone up? Okay, sit down. No, wait. Up last time. Okay, sit down. Please, a round of applause as we welcome the convener, Mr. Chenemy, for his welcome speech.
Good morning, teachers. Good morning, students. Are you having a great time already? Can you put your hands together for yourselves, everyone? Okay, so are you truly happy that you came for this conference? No, no, don't bobo me, don't whine me. If you're not happy, I'll just call my team, we'll sit down, I'll say whatever you people did, you didn't do it well, the students are not happy. They didn't learn anything. And then we'll go and regroup. I will not invite all of you next year. JJ. So are you happy that you are here for this conference? Put your hands together for yourselves, everybody. So yesterday we didn't have time to talk, and we trust that today we have that opportunity to speak. You people are taking the center stage today, and then once in a while we'll have one or two discussions just to pour in further. The goal of this conference is to empower you. How many of you heard my speech yesterday? Did you remember anything from my speech? You didn't. You're too carried away. What did you remember from my speech? Oh yes, that sex is a gift from God and should only be activated within the confines of marriage. Awesome. And I said if you do that before marriage, it's painful, you will regret it, and it leads to shame a lot of times. But you see this theme, encroachment, like you've heard, like our anchor did an amazing job yesterday talking to you about a circle. Encroachment means coming into your space without permission. The same way I get into my house and I lock my door because I don't want you to come in without my permission. That's how everybody must guard their lives. Abuse does not only happen when rape has happened, when it's sexual already. No, that's not when abuse happens. Abuse can happen from the way somebody even speaks to you and from the way they come at you. So your job is to ensure that you guard that space. Now your space sometimes is not only physical. Your space can be mental, right? Your space can be psychological. I don't want you to talk to me the way you're talking because I feel it's abusive the way you're speaking to me. So even your teachers in school sometimes, there's a manner that they can speak to you. You respectfully report to the authorities. For some of the ladies, teachers talking to you and then they use maybe a part of your body to just describe you the way that is abusive. And you can actually report to the authorities that a teacher used a part of, because you understand. And they used to abuse you, you can literally go and report. A friend does that to you, you should report them to the authorities. Why? Because they are encroaching, they are entering a space that you didn't give them permission for. So, in this conference, this is day 2 of the conference, the things that we'll talk about will help to arm you, to give you sense, so that you know where to draw the line. No, Stephen, you have come too far, right? You're not supposed to. No. Why are you holding my hands that way? No, Stephen, don't hold my hand like that. No, I don't like the way you are cutting me eye, Abdul. No, don't cut me eye that way. You are beginning to enter a space that was not reserved for you. And I don't want you in that space. No. Why did you touch me that way? No, don't. No, I'm not smiling. Don't touch me that way. Next, I don't. If you do it, I will report you. You can't. But you know what we'll do sometimes? We'll just smile. Stop now. I told you I don't like it before. Stop it. Steven, stop it. Steven is never going to stop. What he's doing is that, what he's doing is that he's encroaching into your space, and who gave him the permission? You gave him the permission to enter your space. So I encourage you today to be participatory, right? The schools that are doing one form of creative presentation or the other, engage them. When it's time to ask questions, ask them questions. We're going to be having panel discussions. Ask questions. You don't need to be up here to ask questions. People can be here, they finish talking, you put up your hand and you ask them questions so that everybody can reason, right? And we're here to also provide guidance. Our panelists are still coming. We are here. We have other people. Please put your hands together for the people from at risk. Yes, you'll hear them speak shortly to you people as well. All right, and then, oh, okay, I missed out. We have one of our spoken word artists, Dara. She just came in. Please celebrate her. And then Dara came with her mother as well. And then we have the producer of the film will be screening today. Please put your hands together for him. He's been here, and every other person that has come. We welcome you and have a great conference today. I'll be back up later. Oh, also, you will be hearing from S.A. Diary, an amazing spoken word artist. Okay, so before they come up, let me tell you something. When people are doing spoken word and poetry, of course, no, you don't clap, right? You don't clap. What do you do? That's what you do. Like, they just drop a punchline, and of course, they will drop punches. I believe both of them. I've heard both of them before, so they're very good. And when you do this, it helps them know that they too are saying something meaningful, all right? So when you hear something awesome, don't just be quiet. If I do it so loud, let them hear it. Maybe if you do it very well, they might go back and say it again. You get? So I need you to be very participatory today. Thank you so much. And I also want to welcome all our teachers from all the schools. Thank you so much. We're super glad. We're super happy to have you join us today. Welcome to day 2 of the 3rd International Conference on Rape and Child Sexual Abuse. Put your hands together for yourselves, everybody.
Okay, please, another round of applause for Mr. Chenemi. This is such good work he's doing, and to be able to do this not once, not twice, but for the 3rd time consecutively, please give him a round of applause. At this juncture, we're going to some fun stuff. A couple of very talented people will be doing creative presentations and will be here to enjoy. And the very first person I'd like to call up is from St. Clement's. That's Sarah. I'm so sorry, I won't call your surname. Is Sarah here? Come on. Please, a round of applause for Sarah. Ooh, Sarah is a spoken word artist. A round of applause for her. It takes creativity.
Good day, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am called Sarah Wadzanguru, a JS1 student from St. Clement Secondary School. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sarah Wadzanguru, a JS1 student from St. Clement Secondary School, Baikomina, Niger State, and I'm here to present a poem titled Respect My Space. We are sisters, brothers, friends, and peers, connected hearts through tears and laughter. But in our bonds, let's not forget the beauty of our boundaries we must beget. A line that is clear, a voice that is strong, a no that is firm, where we all belong. Let's honor each other's needs. Let's respect each other's deeds. Do not guilt trip. Do not pressure. Do not shame me. Just love and respect my sacred frame. We will lift each other up and stand as one. With clear boundaries, our bond be one. So let's love. Let's be kind. Let's respect each other's nakedness for our pride and peace of mind. So say to yourself, you will set boundaries. You will encroach boundaries. Thank you.
Please, another round of applause for her. We will set boundaries. We will give firm and committed no's. Repeat after me. I will give firm and committed no's. Because that's very important. You know, one of the things I talk about in my book is the fact that, you know, culture, Nigerians, society just generally teaches us that when you want something, you say no. So when you visit somebody and they offer you food, you first say no, you don't want, oh, thank you, take it back, but you want to eat. If someone gives you a gift, you say no, no, so that they will coerce you, but no. We need to learn consent outside of even sexual conversations, because that's what will lead us to identify when our boundaries are broken in sexual conversations. Do you understand? So when you're saying a yes, if you want something, say yes, I would like it. Or say I would need to ask my mother first. You know, be clear about what you want. And when you're giving a no, the person can decide not to talk to you because you said no. The person might frown because you said no. Give a firm and committed no. Is that clear? Okay, so the next person we're going to be inviting is from Government Girls Secondary School, Chioma Bernard. Chioma is also another spoken word artist. Please, a round of applause for her.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chioma Bernard by name, a student of Government Girls Secondary School, and I'm here to present a spoken word. I just wrote it now, so it doesn't have a title. They say good fences make good neighbors, but what happens when the fences disappears? When your yes becomes their habit and your no is an inconvenient truth that they refuse to hear. Encroachment, it doesn't storm in with a loud alarm. It tiptoes softly, a favor asked but never repaid. It's a promise made but it edges fray. They step closer and closer till you forgot where you stood in the first place. It starts small, a joke at your expense, an excuse of their intents. They say it's just this once, but this once becomes a continuous routine. It's a laugh that cuts deeper than it should, a boundary ignored because they could, and suddenly your space becomes their destination. Recognize the signs when no becomes negotiable, when their needs becomes unshakable, when you shrink and contact rearrange just to avoid the discomfort of change. But here is the truth. Boundaries are not barriers. They are bridges to mutual respect. They are declarations of your worth, of the sacred ground you've claimed on this earth. So draw the line bold and clear. Speak the truth, let them hear. Because understanding encroachment isn't just about recognizing the signs. It's about knowing the worth of what is mine. It's about remembering that this space is mine. Thank you.
I'm honestly so, I have no words. I'm mind blown. Please, another round of applause for her. It's not easy what she said she literally just wrote that. So apt. And one thing she said that I want to point out is that our no's are non-negotiable. It's not negotiable. We should not be negotiating consent. You should not be trying to force somebody. And it starts with little jokes, like she said. You are pushing somebody in a way she doesn't like. You're tugging her skirt. You're pulling his hair. You're smacking people on their bum, and you're laughing because it's a joke. You are encroaching. Please, let's make welcome Esther Olagunju Precious from Government's Army Day. Please, let's clap for her before she gets here. Are you Esther? Okay, they have a new representative. Oh, what's your name? Okay, so please, a round of applause for Fauziat.
Good day, everyone. Our Excellency, Chief Organizer, my teacher, and my fellow students. I'm by name Fauziat Abdulmomin from Government Army Day Secondary School. Sexual abuse is not only when a penis goes into a vaginal. It involves touching, kissing, romancing, masturbating, using sex toys. Rape is an unlawful sexual activity against a person's will. It is also an assault that cannot give consent in. Sex is a gift from God, but we lose our dignity when someone takes it forcefully. Boundaries are not just rules. We should stand on our ground and say no to sexual abuse. We need to understand boundaries. Rape and child abuse education helps people understand sexual assault and how to prevent sexual violence by letting our guardians know where we are going to. When we maintain a good, healthy sex life, we will have a lower blood pressure and a better immune system. So you and I should learn to say no and be assertive. Sexual abuse is not only when a penis goes into a vagina. It involves kissing. Rape is an unlawful sexual activity against a person's will. Is also an assault that cannot be given consent in. Thank you.
Please, a round of applause for her. At this point, please, let's make welcome Abubakar Aminu from Ahmadu Bahago. Please, a round of applause for him, so I don't murder the name of their school. This is another spoken word artist.
Good morning to you all. I, by name Amiru Abubakar, a student from Ahmadu Bahago Secondary School. I am standing here to present a poem titled Gender Stereotype. Unwilling to withhold tears from unwilling society. Stereotype is another form for exile, where a boy watches his boys bound to the heavens of God's palace. God, tell me, Lord of inequality, that malice is not another form for ignorance. Being a boy does not mean open the door of inequality, and being a girl doesn't mean society should swallow our identity. But instead, being a boy means close the door of inequality and tell a girl she come and join me. But instead, so when next you hear the word gender-based violence, stand like a giant man and give him back to back up our identity. Thank you for listening.
Please, a round of applause for him. You know, sometimes when we have conversations about gender-based violence, sexual-based violence, consent, all of this education largely is targeted to the girls. You know, we're always educating the girl child. But what about the boy child? What are they supposed to look out for? So we're training our girls to protect themselves and do all of these things, but we're not necessarily always training the boys. And that's why when we have people like this championing these causes and writing pieces about it, it's important. So a round of applause for him. Please, let's make welcome Hawa. I think she's still from Ahmadu Bahago School. Yes, Hawa is another spoken word artist.
Good morning, all. My name is Suleiman Hawa Achiba from Ahmadu Bahago Secondary School, standing to present a piece titled GBV, Gender-Based Violence, and it goes like this. Society sees a girl is like a working machine needed to be fueled. But what happens when the driver's hands are on the wheel of control, steering her towards a crash of oppression? Society says, silence, please. But we won't be muted. Our stories won't be permeated by the angels of oppression. We won't be fallen into the armpit of discrimination. For I am a boy toy, toying with the idea that I am a girl flower in a gun-pounded world. We're piecing ourselves into reality. But the owner manual says, boys should be boycotted while girls should be girlfriended. For how long will this gender-based violence persist? Why are girls bench warmers and not leadership materials? Why those girls just education ends in kitchen and not in the bedrooms of the society? For how long will this stupidity persist? For how long will this game of gender-based violence persist? It is time to unmute and untag ourselves from this oppression. For my Bible teaches kindness and my Quran promotes compassion. Not either of the religion teaches us to become a pawns in the games of gender-based violence. So the next time you see me, run to join the movement. Thank you.
Honestly, I'm so impressed. I'm so wowed by everyone that stepped here today. It's please a round of applause for every single one of them again. Yes, you need to join the bandwagon. You need to join the movement. You need to speak up. You need to, in your own various little ways, the articles you write, the conversations you have. You might not have a platform. Not everybody might hold the mic and stand before, a large group of people. But what kinds of conversations are you having with your friends? When people crack a joke that you know that shouldn't be funny, are you calling them out? Or are you just letting it slide? It starts with the very little things, and that's how we can all champion the cause. At this juncture, please join me as we make welcome Joy Yerima, who is going to be giving us a poem.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joy A. Yerima. I'm here to present a poem titled Sexual Abuse. Tiny hands, bruised and worn, innocent eyes with tears that form, a childhood lost, the soul that's torn, by the very ones who should have sworn to protect and care, to love and guide, but instead, the hurt. They hide the truth, the pain and fear, the shame, leaving scars that will forever remain. A child's cry, a silent scream, a heart that's broken, a soul that's dreamed of a world where love is real, not a world where pain is all they feel. We must act, we must speak out against this evil without doubt. We must protect, we must defend the innocent, the vulnerable and friends. Let's break the silence. Let's shine a light on this dark secret, this terrible plight. Let's heal the wounds. Let's mend the broken hearts and give us children hope and calm our fear. Thank you.
A round of applause for her. And finally, we're going to have another poet. Please make welcome Suleiman Mohammed from Government Day Science College, Tunga. Clap for him, clap for him, clap for him so he hurries.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Suleiman Muhammad Abdullah from Government Day Science College, Tunga. I'm here to present a spoken word titled Boundaries. Boundaries. Boundaries, a word often misunderstood. A word often misunderstood, a limit, a line, a space, a fence, a guard. To protect, to preserve, to keep safe my body, my mind, my soul, my space. I used to think that boundaries were walls, barriers that kept me from getting close to people at all. But now I see that boundaries are bridges, connecting me to others while keeping me free. Boundaries are not just about keeping people out, but also about letting them in on my own time without a doubt. They are also about respecting myself, my needs, my desire, and expecting others to do the same like fires. Boundaries are not selfish. They are essential. A necessary part of loving myself and not intentional. A necessary part of myself, a necessary part of loving myself and being intentional. About who I let in and who I keep out, about what I tolerate and what I live without. So I will set my boundaries clear and strong and respect those of others all day long. I will prioritize my own needs, my own desire, and expect others to do the same like fire. Thank you.
Okay, please, a round of applause for Suleiman. And a big round of applause for all of them collectively. I'm sure we've all picked up something. We've all picked up lines that really got to us. At this juncture, we're going to, we've listened to all of you give us spoken words. So now let's listen to, one of our professionals also do the same. Please make welcome Dara Speaks.
According to World Health Organization, 1 in 3 women globally have been abused at some point in their lives. While the focus is often on women, 1 in 6 men also experience sexual violence. Now think about this. If the issue of abuse continues at this rate, perhaps 1/4 of the world's population will carry the weight of trauma for the rest of their lives. Good day, parents, teachers, dignitaries, law enforcement agencies, your excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm so honored to be standing in your midst today to speak on this sensitive topic. The title of my spoken word proper is My Worst Experience as a Child. And without wasting much time, here it goes. My worst experience as a child was not being born into a struggling family. My worst experience as a child was not having to watch my dreams crushed by poverty or watching my hopes dissolve like smoke. My worst experience as a child was not when I felt choked with responsibilities too heavy for my small shoulders to carry. It was not when I went to bed hungry or when I was denied the luxury of new clothes to wear, save a torn skirt with 2 holes. My worst experience as a child was not the moment I wished for a life I thought I could never have. It was not the moment I was scolded for the things I didn't understand. It was not when I was misunderstood by the people around me, bullied by my peers, and being told I was not enough. I lost a parent and I was pushed away to survive on my own. Oh, I felt alone. But these were not my worst experience as a child. My worst experience as a child was being born into a world that has its own prejudice. When I knew I had no say in whatever happens to me, I was abused and misused, reduced to an object that can be used and discarded, left alone with my fears and a body that seemed to fail me. My worst experience as a child was when I was betrayed by those I trusted. I lost my innocence, but this world around me spun a narrative that said it's never happened. You're just being too dramatic, or maybe it was just a mistake. I was told to shove it off and move on, but no one told me how to heal from what had already broken me. They kept saying the truth will make me free. But when my truth is termed a mistake, who am I really free to be? Is it a mistake if it is being done over and over again? Is it healing if my suffering is denied? Is it justice if the perpetrators walk free and I am left to pick up the broken pieces? See, my worst experience as a child was being tormented and molested by someone who was supposed to be my protector, but turns into a predator, feasting on his prey. So to the young ones seated here today, if something feels wrong, I urge you to speak up. Tell someone you trust, because no one has the right to hurt your mind or touch your body in unkind ways. To those who have experienced what I have, it is time to set boundaries. Fight back your identities. Let go of those painful memories. See, healing takes time. So be patient enough to let it finish its process. Just because what happened to you isn't your fault doesn't mean fighting back your identity isn't your responsibility. I take it again. I said just because what happened to you isn't your fault doesn't mean fighting back your identity isn't your responsibility. To the law enforcement agencies and social advocates, it is time to confront the uncomfortable truth that abuse is happening all around us. And it is not just an individual problem, but a societal one. According to World Health Organization, 1 in 3 women globally have been abused at some point in their lives. 1 in 6 girls also experience sexual violence. While the focus is often on women, 1 in 6 men and 1 in 13 boys are also affected. And many times these cases goes unreported because too often their truth is dismissed, misunderstood, or ignored. So I stand here to ask you today, when the truth isn't heard, how does healing begin? Who are they really free to be? Think about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dara, for that beautiful piece. Like I was saying earlier, it's always important for us to look at the issues when it comes to a boy child. So one thing, when a girl is abused, when she's raped, it's oftentimes more violent, and so it's easy to identify that someone has violated her boundaries. But when you speak to the boys who were abused, because of the nature of their biology, somehow they feel like, oh, they liked it, so maybe it's their fault. And so they quickly admit that because they enjoyed whatever happened to them, they shouldn't feel as bad. They shouldn't identify that as assault. But that's wrong. Your boundaries are being encroached. Whether biologically you sensed stuff that made it see. The very last poem is going to be from Suleiman Mohammed. Please, a round of applause for him. Suleiman, have you not presented? Oh, you have, this one is a poem. Okay, Suleiman, we'll do that later, since you've come up before. Okay, so at this juncture, I want you to join me to welcome some very special people from the...
Okay. Good morning. Oh, that's okay. Thank you. Good morning. Okay. Oh, okay. Good morning, dignitaries here, the convener and his team, doing very great work since yesterday. I don't know how I missed out on the first and second, but I'm glad I'm attending this third. Students, teachers, guardians, the able team people here, photographers, I greet you all. NATO at Rick's Children Program, Niger State. I am highly honored to be speaking to you on the occasion of the 3rd International Conference on Rape and Sexual Abuse with the theme, Encroachment of Boundaries B. Because as we can see, incidentally, it targets people in our society. Therefore, at Rick's Children Program, which targets specifically the children from the age of 4 to 24, we can now say that yes, children and young adults are our time. I will talk about the program itself. That's the At Risk Children Program. It is a federal government initiative, the then Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibanjo. It is to identify vulnerable to be able to compete comfortable with other children across the globe. Giving them safe nets, ensuring they receive the support, resources, care, guidance, and protection to enable them realize their potential. Graciously supported this. It is an honor to announce this today that Her Excellency, the wife of former Governor Bago, Hadia Fatima, is the chairperson of advisory board of ACP. We also have the secretary to the state government as a co-chair and other this board. ACP is anchored on 7 pillars, which include basic education. Children, of course, that are vulnerable because of fault that is not children, street hawkers, substance abusers, who, as I mentioned again, of no fault of theirs, face a lot of deprivation, including poverty, risks of not being able to go to school, as well as substance abuses and other factors that increase their vulnerability. This pillar is being anchored around 7 of them to enable them build resilience in these children, where they can have a life of dignity from themselves and also be valuable to society to which they come from. They include agriculture, basic literacy and education, entrepreneurship, creativity, health and nutrition, sports, security, incentivization. Of all of these anchored of these pillars, we're able to start with 4, which include basic education, sports, healthcare. We have already gotten 1,000 of our beneficiaries free access to basic healthcare from the Niger State Contributory Healthcare Scheme. As the team lead of ACP in the state, I have witnessed firsthand devastating effect of rape, sexual abuse on children, especially their street children, the street hawkers, and other vulnerable groups. This group of children includes school dropouts, child hawkers, children living with disabilities, children of people living with disabilities, children displaced due to conflict, children-led households. We've seen households where children are the breadwinners of that family. Children are the most vulnerable to all of this, and to all of this, which remains one of the factors affecting them is they face rape, especially those children who are left on the streets to hawk. You know, that's already vulnerability on its own. Parents who are supposed to protect these children are telling them to go and earn something for us. And we've seen several times what that does to these children. Of course, they want to sell. In most cases, if they don't even sell what is being given to them, they cannot even come home. Some will not even be able to eat that day. So ACP, just like we are doing here today, is to increase awareness and tell them the danger why this should stop. Personal boundaries, of course. I am just so in love with today's team. Again, I must encourage you and salute you for the work done today. It simply means life skills. Of course it is a skill, because like I said earlier, when children are confronted with a lot of vulnerabilities, so to give them, build resilience in them is educating them, giving them life skills, which includes how to set and mental well-being should be protected from sexual predators and pedophiles. Healthy boundaries are essential for children's development as they help abuse, exploitation, and violence. While this applies to all sex, irrespective of the gender, it is particularly true for girls who are disproportionately affected by this. The pertinent question then is, how can we identify and define boundaries to prevent rape and child sexual assault, as well as protect our children? To begin with, we must realize that boundaries are not just physical, but also emotional. We must teach our children, as we are doing today, about appropriate physical touching, emotional expression, and even online behavior. In addition, we must model healthy boundary setting ourselves, because children learn from what they see. It is therefore essential to demonstrate respect for other people's boundaries, as well as prioritize our own self-care. We must also create a safe and supportive environment where children feel comfortable expressing their concerns. This includes schools, homes, communities. In conclusion, we must work together to challenge harmful social norms that provide GBV in all forms. We must, in addition, promote a culture of respect, empathy, equality, and this requires collective effort from all of us. Parents, policymakers, government institutions like ours, community leaders, NGOs. We call on especially this NGO to partner with us as we take giant strides to eradicating GBV, not only among school children, but also the out-of-school children, the grassroots children on the streets who remains prone to.
Thank you so much. Do we remember the rain clap? Can we give her a rain clap? 2, 3, 4, rain. Thank you so much. Thank you. And definitely, I'm sure the Peak Story will be glad to partner with you. The Peak Story is not an NGO. They're actually a media organization, a storytelling media organization who are doing really brilliant work. Yes. So please, a round of applause for the Peak Story. So I'll be calling them now for their own creative presentation. Please make welcome the representative from Father O'Connell Science College. Okay. Okay, before they come about identifying and defining boundaries. So I just want to call out certain sentences and see how you can complete them. For example, if I say a boundary is important because, what would be your response? Just throw me responses. Because if crossed, there are consequences. Very brilliant response. Is there any other response? Because it is an emotional thing. Any other response? Because if there are no boundaries, it gives room for every kind of violence. Important. Because they matter. Simple, very aptly put. Because they matter. Because if crossed, they have demoralizing effects. Because if violated, there are regrets. Final one. Because there are limits. Please, a round of applause for everyone who gave us a response. Yeah, she has told me. So, at this point, I'll be inviting someone. And firsthand, I'm so excited to sit there in various prestigious schools of Niger State. Make welcome Ese Idiare.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, she has already called my name, so I'm honored to be here. And thank you so much, Dara. I was really blessed by your piece. And there's this young lady. Please, can you borrow me your voice? This Sarah, too. For everyone that came here to tell their story, I just want to really encourage you that tell your stories. It's also important, no matter how. Just find words, simple words, put it down. Trust me, the world will hear you one day. So, I'm a storyteller, so I'm here to tell you a very short story about a child. It's not my story, but I believe it's someone's story somewhere. It has to be a joke, the way he touched me so lowly. It has to be a joke, the way he hugged me so tightly. I couldn't say stop. Saying stop might sound disrespectful because we all call him uncle. To know him was to leave my boundaries unguarded. Because when my mother told me, don't allow any man to touch you, I never knew that it applies to friends and families. So at 12, this girl, who was warned about men with tattoos and not the one with eyes, this girl, who understood the code word stranger danger as early as the age 3. Experience numbed her very once loud voice, like her broken ancestors. She stopped speaking. She joined the community of the mute. She sometimes saw herself as an envelope, a crafted paper meant to store all her experiences with no address to deliver them. So we might never know the message marks she wore daily. Strength became long sleeves she never go out with. She never understood our reality. How that the length of a skirt, or a life that was once insulated with nothing to puncture our innocence lights bare before every turn. Our young body became a billboard for our future customers to see because our first customer was sure of one thing, leaving our doors wide open. So at 18, a fire was already lit beneath her. She burns. She burns continually, she burns. Along one mass came falling like dry leaves during autumn. Long sleeve she wore, her strength faded away like clouds after rain. Then the whole world gets to see her. Then we saw her, like a letter, in that one sealed envelope, naked and bare, with no smile and strength to disguise her true meaning. Now we saw her, and we read what was inside her. Help me, help me. She repeatedly wrote, help me, help me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that powerful, powerful piece. You know, most times when you hear conversations like this, it just gets you to react. But most, by data, statistically, most sexual abuse happens by intimate people, family members, friends, people that the women are in relationship with, and even the men. So you need to know when you feel like, you know, Uncle Jide is making me a little uncomfortable and you want to talk about it. Please, another round of applause for AC. At this juncture, we're going to be doing something very interesting. It's time for the panel session by the students. So I'm just going to call out the schools involved in the poll. Father O'Connell Science College. It's one representative from each school, yeah? FUT Model School, where are you? Where's FUT Model School? Okay. Mariam Babangida Science School. Father O'Connell Science College. Grab a seat. You're welcome. Okay, you guys are complete. No, there's one more. So Government Girls Secondary School, do we have their representatives? New Horizon. Okay, I'm sorry. You need to know the reason why they're being, you know, invited here. They could be the most vocal students in their school, the best students in their school. You know, it's always a privilege to sit in this place and share knowledge. So at the very least, I will let them introduce themselves individually.
Good day, everyone. My name is Kingsley Obona from Father O'Connell Science College, Mina.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Rebecca Usman, a member of SS2 and a representative.
Fatima Ibrahim from Mariam Babangida Girls Science College.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Fatima Simon from New Horizon College. I'm here to present my school.
Okay, please, a round of applause for our panelists. Hafsat is actually going to be moderating this panel session, so she'll be guiding the conversations, you know, and asking them questions. Let's enjoy.
As we all gather today, I will start by asking Khalifa M. Ibrahim. So please, brother, in a situation whereby parents step into a child's boundary, okay, then Rebecca Usman. Okay. How can I deal with encroachment?
Was the question, frown at it. That is my first response. Frown at it. It all starts from you. You can't be smiling and shining your teeth white, and you are there, they are touching you anyhow, and you claim you are frowning at it. That That's not it. That's not right. So I feel it starts from you. You should frown at it with all your might. When somebody comes touching you in a place he or she shouldn't, you should speak up, frown at it and tell him, no, don't do this. I don't want that. Don't be shy and be saying, no, please stop it now. I'm begging you. No, why are you doing this to me? The person is not going to listen to you. The person is only just going to make it worse. So the best thing is to frown at all. They just treat themselves so cheaply. That's why we see prostitutes all around, because they don't have value for themselves. They think they can just sell their bodies for money. And for me, personally, I don't know for you, but I don't feel you can be sold. No matter the amount of money, you can't be sold. So I feel you should deal with encroachment. First of all, we already talked about encroachment, and encroachment is your personal space, your privacy. The person shouldn't intrude into your privacy anyhow. That is completely wrong. So that's my answer. Thank you.
As we delve into the topic says understanding encroachment and recognizing signs of boundaries violations. So my questions goes to Enfozala Faustina. I hope I'm correct. Okay. As the right of going to be called.
Well, as one of our panelists said yesterday, we have many rights as individuals. And pertaining to the case and the topic here, the right to this is the right to speak and the right to dignity of human person. And these rights, we as humans are giving each of them to use them. They are not just for name or for you to just say you are a human being, so you have rights. Your rights cannot be taken away from you by anybody, not even your parents, except some cases that are serious. So when people are faced with such type of problems or violations of your body as a human person, you speak up. You have your dignity. Mostly as a lady, you don't let any man see you. Like my mother always tells me, keep your virginity for your husband because it is the first gift you give to your husband. You do not let it free to anybody because no one owns it. No one takes permission of your body without your consent. You take yourself in high esteem. You hold yourself with enough respect so that people don't talk to you or take you as shit, because most people these days, why they don't talk is because their abuse begins from childhood. Most of them, through the words you use, their esteem is already reduced. They see themselves as a low life. They cannot speak up. But when you say things to them, you frown at it, just like my partner said. You frown at them, then nobody will have the right to take over your body. And how it is going to be curbed is if that child cannot speak up by themselves, you go looking for a relative that you can trust or meet a human rights activist, because it is your right as a person. Thank you.
Brother Kingsley Obonapa. Okay. How do a girl protect herself physically and emotionally?
Firstly, how do a girl protect herself physically is by, first of all, when you set a boundary for yourself, like you don't joke with yourself because you own your own body. And also, let your yes be yes and let your no be no. Don't allow any guy to come to say any trash word to you like that and like that. So now how do you protect yourself emotionally? Is firstly, most girls do engage in what they call boyfriend and girlfriend, and it's not actually bad for a boy to be a friend with a girl, but not in that kind of a relationship, like a close relationship, because there's a way I might get close to you. You start feeling the affection and all those things. So when you are not that conscious enough, because there's what you call hormones, like you start feeling the gyration of, so you need to stay away from all those kind of relationship, give yourself a kind of gap so that you might not fall into it. So that's how you protect yourself emotionally. And also physically, the kind of your dressing appearance, the way you dress can also attract people to look at you the way you are. So that's how you protect yourself. Thank you.
Sis Fatima Asaminu, how do you go about it if your boundaries are being violated?
So, before your boundaries get violated, it has to be you most times. Because if you should actually make people respect you, they won't even have that guts to cross your boundaries. And you can have different forms whereby you can actually make people respect your boundaries. Because it's your boundaries, which are mostly caused by people close to you. But if you show them, like, hey, like, don't cause this. If you show them, don't cause this, they actually won't cause it. And that's by actually showing them their boundaries, like, let's mind our boundaries. And another way is, like, is the way you dress also will actually affect how people will cross your boundary. If you show just modesty, I don't think there's anybody that will decide to cross your boundaries. So that is one thing that will open to people crossing your boundaries. Then when it now gets crossed, is your right to report. That's one. You can report to the school management. Let's say that's in school. You can report to school management. And if you're at home, you can report to your parents. And this will help in limiting the amount of boundary crossing you get. So it actually depends on how you react to it. And at that point, if you don't even have time to report, self-defense is another thing. You can defend yourself, honestly. You can defend yourself by there are safe ways whereby you can actually just like hit the person. Many schools actually teach self-defense in school. Those will help a lot, like basic ones that will weaken the person for that time. And you have your time to go and report, and you'll be safe from being encroached. Thank you.
Sis Khalifat M. Ibrahim, in a situation whereby parents step into a child's boundary emotionally, what should you do?
Well, I'll talk to them because many of our parents today are hurting their kids intentionally and they know it. Maybe because the child is not theirs, so they think hurting them is the best thing to do so that they will prove to their children that they love them. So I will tell them that you are killing me emotionally and physically because you will reduce my esteem. And that's all.
I have come back to you, Sis Rebecca Usman. What are some signs of boundaries violation?
Okay, to list a few, I'll be listing first, seductive looks and enticing looks. Now, that is very, very common because some people just look at you in a way that you feel so uncomfortable. The person is winking at you and you're like, why is this person winking at me? The person is giving you some signs and is expecting you to catch it. But, you know, ignorance, you don't understand sometimes. And you're like, this person, stop giving me this look. So some of those seductive looks, the person is looking at you, rubbing his lips. What? Don't look at me and rub your lips. So sometimes there can be those looks, also those enticing looks. Then secondly, I have unsolicited gifts. There are some unnecessary gifts. Okay, I understand. Birthday gift. Okay, it's my birthday. Of course, celebrate me. But I just come to school one day or go to my workplace, and I just like, oh, I just bought a chocolate cake for you. I don't need chocolate cake. I didn't ask you. So please, if you can ask, okay, I'm going for lunch. Should I buy you something? Okay, that is acceptable, at least fine to some extent. Like you're being helpful and all. But just coming to me, oh, and it's not my birthday. Just coming to me, giving me some gifts. I feel that is a sign we should all watch out for. Then thirdly, I have uneasy touches. Actually, I realized that even some cousins, female cousins or male cousins, parents, they do some uneasy touches. And I'm like, don't touch me. You're my father, I understand. You're my mother. But there are some touches that is not proper at all. Even though he's your father, okay, we understand. Maybe when you were small, he was bathing you. You say, when you were small like this, I was one that was bathing you. Okay, fine. But I'm grown up. I'm a guy. I'm a lady. I should have my own privacy. I should have my own space that I shouldn't intrude into. Now, there's something like African mothers. I feel they'll be like, you're still like this. Your breast is like this. When I was your age, do you know I was looking like? And you are feeling so bad, and you're like, what is the problem with me? You even go to the extent of maybe asking your friends or a wrong pair, why am I like this? And the person gives you all sorts of, okay, just have sex, and within overnight, you will see that you are so big and looking so, no, please. So I would beg African parents, I believe there's none here like that. Then fourth, okay, then for special treatment and favors, okay, teacher enters the class, you are making noise, everybody on your knees, and you're just like, no, you, favor, go and sit down, don't worry, just sit down. I made noise, and possibly I was the #1 noise maker, and you're telling me, no, favor, just sit down, and you are sending a student, go and call favor for me, she should come to my class, come to my office. And do what? I don't have classwork. I don't have assignment. I didn't ask you any question, except you have a personal work for me. And if there's a wrong communication or a wrong motive behind that, I feel some of those special treatments and calls should be really checked. Yes, then 5, I have uncomfortable conversation. You are bringing us some topics. And you're like, what is this person heading at? What is the person's focus or aim for saying this? Okay, do you have a boyfriend? Okay, are your parents at home by 8 p.m.? What concerns you if my parents are at home by 8 p.m. or not? If I am the only person at home, fine. So some of those uncomfortable conversations, they are talking about some fishy stuff, some fishy things. Please watch out for that. Then the last one, I have unnecessary compliments. Oh, even lip gloss. We are in Hamatan season. Please, I need lip gloss. They are telling me, oh, you look so cute with your lip gloss. I need lip gloss. My lips is dry. Okay, fine. I look cute and all that. My father told me at home that I'm fine. My Bible told me I am wonderfully and beautifully made. So don't tell me, please. I already have. That's why at first I said, place value on yourself. If you don't have value, someone comes and says, oh, you're so beautiful. I've never seen a girl like you in my life. And let me go to broken. For your mind, you are feeling so big. Oh, my teacher said I'm fine. Oh my God, you go to the mirror and check yourself 100 times. Please, calm down with all those signs. Some of those unnecessary compliments. Fine, please value, high value on yourself. Thank you.
As I'm seeing sis Faustina, you want to say something back? Okay. What does it mean when you say encroachment?
Well, coming to encroachment, like our theme for this conference is encroachment, identifying and defining boundaries. When we say encroachment, we have been giving speeches here for 2 days now on what encroachment means. Coming into someone's space, coming into my private life, which is none of your business. Identifying my boundaries. What does it mean? We are always saying boundaries, boundaries. What are those boundaries that you need to identify? What are those boundaries or space that you don't let people come to? Your body. You need to keep yourself. Just like our workshop tutor said, from your shoulder to above your knee is for yourself, not even for your parents, because you are grown and old enough to take care of yourself. You are keeping yourself, telling people where they are not supposed to go to, where they are not supposed to touch in you, where they are not even supposed to see. Like most clothes of these days are being produced. If they don't have open back, they will have an open breast, or they will have a slit drawing from their thigh, which is not right. What are you exposing your body for? What is there that they will not see? Because who will not get married? I mean, they don't used to watch film. And which is that film that they are watching too is also exposing them to many things. You watch pornographic movies as a child, leading you to masturbating, leading you to doing unnecessary things, lesbianism or homosexuals for the male. You watch pornographic films, okay, let's say with your siblings at home, and you tend to practice it. You want to practice how to, oh, look at the way they are touching this one in this movie. Oh, come, let's practice it, or let's know how it feels. How do you want to know how it feels like? Why do you want to know how it feels like? You keep yourself, you distance yourself. Not, you are too small, you are too young to watch such movies. Most times, what gets children attracted when they see 18 plus? Because they know that 18 plus is not for their age. So it is drawing their eyes. Let me see what is inside this 18 plus movie. What is 18 years that I will not reach and see? What is your business? You shield yourself. You have to know how to have self-control. Control your emotions, control yourself, control your urges. Because as children, we are precious. You are very precious, and you don't expect that you take yourself in as, okay, your body is now a sales body for everybody. Anybody that sees you will be like, I'm interested in this girl. And some boys of these days, when one goes to you, and they see that you give them time, or one comes into your heart, another will come. Then when the second one comes, they will go and discuss about you. Before you know, a clique of friends, group of friends come into you. Then when you want to get married, your case is different. I know this girl. Now, shower she be. You cannot just, how will you let yourself as a lady be given such a title? Let's say, okay, you have boobs, you have nyash. Abida is what we call it now. You have it. So what is there that I cannot show? You are just 14, 15, 13 years, and you are selling yourself out. You are exposing yourself to things which you are not exposed to. And that is why we frown at giving children phones. Because most kids are giving, like somebody, we give a child of 6 years iPad. What is he using it to do? What is that child using that phone to do at that age? Is it assignment that you as a parent cannot do for the child? Or is it questions that the person cannot ask you and you browse it in your phone? You give a child an iPad, all in the name of playing game. Can you say one day, take your time, let me go through that child's phone? Or let me go through my child's chats with other people. Then you know what your child is made of. Because most of these children are hiding under the shadows of their parents. Some will be like, in front of their parent, they'll be very holy, but come to school and ask of them. Come to school and ask your siblings or your mates, how is this girl behaving? Or how is this girl behaving? And they will tell you different stories that you as a parent will be shocked. You make your boundaries clear by defining it. You define it. You make it clear to people. This place is a no-go area for you. It is out of bound. You have no right to come into it. As we say that one of our presenters came and said, our no's should not be negotiable. Why would you be negotiating your no with somebody who is, let's say, permit me to say, a stupid person? Because most boys nowadays, they are beginning to melt. You cannot just come, Kai, this girl fine. You'll be like sitting down. You'll be uncomfortable as a lady. A boy will be looking at you, staring at you in a way that is not supposed. You'll just be like, let me turn. You see, your eye will jam with that person. You do it 3 times, your eye will jam with that same person. Open up, my dear. If possible, give that person a slap. Give that person a slap. Because who are you to be looking at me in that way? You just come. Why would you be looking at me? If you talk, okay, let's say, I question you for the first day, question you the second day. What is holding me from touching you? What is holding you as a lady from going to report? And most times, we focus this rape and sexual abuse mostly on ladies because, mostly it's ladies that is being faced with such problems and challenges. But even men, even male children are faced with such problems. Some of them live with their foster parents, their aunties, their uncles, and they tend to sleep with them at a tender age. And that child begins to develop, let's say, when the child now begins to develop love for you, you throw that child away. When you were the one that taught that person how to do some crazy stuff that he's not supposed to do at that age.
Okay, time, please. Okay. Sis Khalifat, why should parents allow their words have access to social media usage when they know that it will lead them to illegal moral?
We know many parents today, they think if they don't give their child phone to have access to internet, they will not know the better word because they think that the word is hidden. So if they should give them that phone, it will expose them to the outside world, not knowing that they are actually destroying their children by their hands. Because allowing a child to have access to social media, maybe he might be watching something that is not supposed to be. Immediately he watch it, he would like to practice it. Practicing it, after practicing it, it will lead to damage in the society.
Sis Fatima, we would like to know more about boundaries.
So it has all been said yesterday. Boundaries, these are lines. It's like a fence surrounding you. And it's not only your body. Like boundaries are limits people should have. And you're meant to have different boundaries with different people. For your mom, the boundaries should be smaller. But for your female friends, it should actually be medium over there. But for your male friends, like you are meant to have their big boundaries. They should all know their limits. Everybody should have their limits. Like your female friends, like you come to school, oh hi, how are you? Then hug and that's all. But for your male friends, like excuse you, stay there, mind your limits and all. But your mom, she's your mom, she can come, like she just has access to you. She's your guidance at that point. Like you don't actually know anything. But there should also be limits for your parents. But your mom's boundaries between you and her should not be that much. That's how you have different size of boundaries. And we also have two types of boundaries. We have the physical boundary and we have the emotional boundaries. The physical boundaries, these are the ones you have for your body. The limits whereby people can cross. For your mom, obviously, as I said, like you can be dressing in the same way as your mom because she's your mom, but there should also be limits for that. But your female friends, hug and all. But for your male friends, that's where the boundaries are meant to be. They should be much. They shouldn't be that close to you because I have my boundaries and I'm a lady. You are a male. I will respect your boundaries. You respect my boundaries. We have boundaries for that. And for your uncles, too, they also fall under that category because let's mind out, even though we joke and all, but please know your boundary, like, excuse you. So that's the physical boundary. Now, for the emotional boundaries, these are boundaries that are related to your emotions. Not everybody will come. Like now, you just have one of your classmates like that. You don't flow with the person. You just come, they don't be insulting you. Like, are you okay? Like, mind your boundary. Like, know your boundaries. That's emotional boundaries. That's boundaries you create for people. The words they will say to you, how it will reach your emotions. That's for the emotional boundaries. Like, that's different between physical and emotion. Physically for your body, emotional for your emotions. So that's the boundaries for your emotion.
Brother Kingsley, how do parents protect their children even when they are not with them?
Okay, how do parents protect their children even though they are not with them? It's like for you to teach your children what they need to know at the early stage. Like, for example, now, as they are small, the things that they need to know so that it will not lead them into corrupt things or bad things. For example, now, you know that you cannot bend a tree. You can only bend it when it is still small, like a plant. You can only bend a plant, but you cannot bend a tree. So when you don't teach them when they grow up, it will be hard for them. It will be hard for you to bring them into their right sense. Like it's what you know. Let me say, for example, now stealing. You tell a small child, go and pick that boy's pen and put it in your bag. From there, he continues it. From there, he continues. And when he continues it, he takes the thing too far that it's so hard for him that he cannot even stay away from it, even abstain from it. Or let me just say, for example, now, let me use myself as an example now. One time like this, my aunt gave birth to a child, a baby boy. So I asked, so when it is time for circumcision, I asked my aunt, what is the meaning of circumcision? She just looked at me. She didn't say anything. She said, "She don't worry." So for my mind now, I'm still small. Like, I was asking her what's the meaning of circumcision. She didn't say anything. Now, some parents will be like, they don't want to teach their children sex education or what they need to know on this thing because they feel like their children will spoil. Your picking will spoil. You need to go to school. He's going to school. He wants to jam. He will jam friends. It's like, let me say now, me, for example, now when I was in GS2, there was one guy in my class, David, he used to bring phone to school. And the thing we do watch with that phone is pornography. GS2. So you see, when you don't tell them most of these things, when they go to school, they'll practice them. They'll meet friends who will engage them in all these things. So I believe that when you bring up this idea into their heads, it will be hard for them to abstain from it. Like my Bible says that train up a child in the way he should grow. And when that child goes, he will never, ever depart from it. Thank you.
You know, when my colleagues are saying this back, I remember, you know, even us students, we have the roles that we are playing in schools. You see, a student, when she saw a male teacher is working, she'll be like, she will change the steps she's working. She will like be walking, she'll be walking, she'll be walking like that. The way she's walking, the teacher will be like. So you see, even us students, we have the roles that we are playing. In schools, you see a student, you see in our school, sometimes some students don't like mingling with their female teachers. They just like mingling with male teachers because, like now, for example, let's say a teacher gave us assignments in the class. So you want to go and submit, and you submitted late. So the class monitor says she will not submit it for you. You'll be the one to go and submit it by yourself. So as you enter the staff room, as you meet the teacher, you now start saying, "Good morning, sir. I come to submit my assignment." For what? He's your teacher. He should stay in his level. He's just meant for him to teach you, not for him to be your boyfriend or something else. This is the end of our panel section. Thank you.
Please, another round of applause for them. Look at such insight. You know, we have great people here. Please, a round of applause for them. Now you see why their school sends them. All right. Okay, so while that was going on, we had some of our panelists from yesterday arrive with their entourage. Please celebrate them. These women are not only beautiful outwardly, they are beautiful internally because the capacity they carry and the work they do. Please appreciate them. We have Barrister Mero Man and Hajia Maimuna Mohammed. Mrs. Ann is also here. Please just appreciate them. So before they leave, we would like them to just, say something. I'm sure there were areas they want to fill in the gaps concerning what the panelists said, if there are areas. So I'm just going to call them individually. So firstly, let's start by welcoming Barrister Mero Man. Okay, so let's welcome Hajia Maimuna.
Good morning, students. Good morning, distinguished guests. Good morning, panelists, and all the media crew that are here. And good morning again to the people that came with me. This is a team from the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. I asked them today, I say, your students are going to be doing something, so please, let's show face. Can you all directors stand up, please? So you'll be appreciated. Yes. So, yes. Thank you so much. This is interesting. And I'm glad that when we came, I thought it hasn't started. I said, no, they are there, they've started. And listening to the panelists of students, really, I'm so proud of you all. You spoke well. You describe your own shortcoming and that of ours as parents and also mentors. And I like the word of that she used as different type of boundaries. We have the physical boundary, and we have the emotional, social emotional boundaries. So those boundaries are real. And if you create it for yourself, then you will gain your own self-respect. That self-respect is what you have to know. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Me, almost everywhere I am, I vibe more with the opposing gender. But I know the boundary, and they know the boundary that I have created. So even when I was in school, I will have a lot of the boys, we study together because we have that kind of vibe. Because if I'm with the girls, it's gossip, and competition, and this and that. I don't have time for gossip and competition. I want serious thing. So me and the boys, but they know my boundary. You cannot cross it. Even now, based on my own religious practice, I do not shake hands with the opposite gender. And even in meetings, when I sit, I don't sit next to the opposite gender. So I drew my own boundary so people know. And anywhere I go to, I state it. When people bring their hand, I put my hand together to greet you. So I don't do that. It doesn't mean that it is a practice that all Muslims do, but for me, that is my understanding, and I don't do it. So that's my own boundary. So you create your own bubble. Create your own bubble. As an early childhood educator in the classroom, I told you from 3-year-old and on, we start teaching them about self-regulation. Self-regulation is how they learn to regulate their emotions and understand. And then when they are sitting for circle time, I tell them to blow bubbles, invisible bubbles. Now they blow that bubble, and I say, cage yourself in your bubble. And they sit. Once that body starts wiggling and you are moving, you hear the other, she's in my bubble, she's busting my bubble. Right away, the other will know I'm sitting in my space. So I'm teaching them that personal space. And as they grow, now they understand, because now, impulsively, they will hit each other, they will touch each other, they will do this. So these are the things that we help them to do, and these are the things that you use as you grow to enable you as a young adult or as a young teen to control yourself and control others around you. I'm not going to take so much time. We have to go to Paikoro for, with His Excellency for unveiling one of those mosques and schools. So that's why we're leaving you over here. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, ma. Okay, so I think I'm going to call up Barrister later on. But you remember yesterday we said if you have questions, you should write down the questions. How many of us have questions? So please write down your questions and pass them to the ushers. Write down your questions and pass them to the ushers. Right now, I'm going to be inviting someone who has been a panelist for the last 2 sessions. He's a part of this process. He's a part of the growth of what the Peak Story is doing with these conferences. I'm going to be inviting Daniel Bauer, who is a development communicator, to give us a goodwill message. Please, a round of applause for Daniel Bauer.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, our panelist, Barrister Mero. Good morning, Ma. And good morning, every other person who is here. Good morning, students. Good morning, students. Do you want to stand up for a stretch so that you are not too... Just stand up so that you stretch. You may have been seated for quite a while. Please just stand up briefly and stretch and then take your seats back. It's not a punishment. It's not for not answering me. I just feel like it's important for you to stretch a little. Okay, so you can sit back down. I want to quickly just stress on a few things that have already been spoken about. Let me start by telling you a story. And I'm sure that with this story, two birds will be killed with this one stone. When I was in 100 level, I went to school in Ahmadu Bello University. And somehow, at orientation, we were told that students had the right to contest their results. If you felt your result was not proper, that you could write for a remark, you know. And at the end of my first semester, now and this is true story, at the end of my first semester, one of the courses, coincidentally, that I enjoyed the most, I saw a carryover in that course, and I knew that, no, something must be out of place here. So while I discussed with a few friends what my course of action was going to be, someone who also heard the same orientation that I got tried to discourage me. And he said, well, from knowledge, I think that the lecturers are going to, or the lecturer who was responsible for that course is going to be quite offended if you are contesting what he has marked. But I felt it was my right, and therefore I insisted on writing. By the time I wrote, listen to this, by the time I wrote, it turned out eventually that I got a B in that course. Actually, there was a misplacement of my assessment. My assessment was not recorded, and therefore, that result was given to me. It took my rewriting for it to be corrected. Let me start by saying knowledge, they say, is power. How many of you have heard that statement? Knowledge is power. But knowledge that is not put to use is useless. I sat here and I heard students say such brilliant things, and I wondered if, every student who knew the things they were saying, if they put to use the things that they know, then indeed we will have a better world. Niger State will be a better place. There will be less encroachment in our schools and in our environment and in our neighborhoods. So the first thing I am going to say this morning is, please, and this is me assuming that the things that have been said, not many people know these things. So the first thing I'm about to say, or I am going to say, is that by the time you go home, everything that you have learned in this conference, please go and preach it to your colleagues, to other students, to your younger ones, to people around. Spread them wide. Let them trend. Let them be the talk of the day. Everywhere talk about them. Have you heard? Do you know about this? What do you know about this? Discuss these things in your circles. Let the knowledge spread. You may not know who you are saving by teaching a truth that you have heard. Did you get that? You may not know who you are saving by teaching a knowledge that you have recently acquired. So by the time you go, don't sit on these things. Spread them and keep spreading them. Let me also say that the theme is encroachment, identifying and defining boundaries. I added enforcing boundaries. So I said identifying and defining and enforcing boundaries. Now the word identify means that by the law of Nigeria, there are already laws that protect you as a young person. And knowledge is power. If you do not know these things, you are likely going to suffer for not knowing them. So one of the things that you need to do is begin to make inquiries, begin to ask questions, there is so much that can be communicated in this conference, but by the time you go and continue to search so that you will identify every law, every right that is to your favor. Is that okay? Did you hear that? What did I say, number one? I said, identify all of the laws and provisions that are to your advantage. For example, and principally, and it has been said throughout the conference, it was said yesterday, I believe it has been said, and it will keep being said, that until you are 18, the law protects you from being encroached into. Until you are 18, you don't even have the right to even make consent. So it doesn't matter what you do or you do not do. That is not to say you should not insist on setting boundaries and, enforcing them. But know it that you do not have any business with anything sexual until you are 18. So that is a law that protects you. It protects you. So that someone will not try to play on your psyche and say it's because of this you did and this you did. Don't be afraid. Know that the law protects you. Nobody has the right to encroach against you. It's the first thing that you need to do. Identify them, enforce them, like has been said all day. Another thing you need to identify is the places that you can report encroachments. Sometimes you do not have the ability by yourself to deal with encroachment. Identify all the places you can report encroachment. Sometimes you don't have the willpower. Please listen to this. Sometimes by yourself alone, you cannot enforce it. So look for avenues, whether they are your teachers or your parents or the law enforcement or organizations. Throughout yesterday, different people came from different organizations that help protect your rights. So know the different avenues, know the organizations. If you report to your teacher and the teacher doesn't seem to be doing anything, report to your parent. If your parent is not doing anything, look for law enforcement and do something about it. No encroachment should be forgiven. Did you hear that? Yes, sir. Encroachments are not to be forgiven. When you forgive encroachment, you encourage the person to encroach another person's. So report it, no matter how small. Even if the person says, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again, don't believe it. Report it. Yes. Whatever punishment is meet whatever the person has done, let the person receive that punishment. But don't forgive encroachment. Encroachment is a big deal. Make it a big deal. It's not, is it just because of this small touch? No, there's no small touch. Encroachment is what? It's a big deal. Did you hear that? Encroachment is a big deal. The third thing that you need to, and I'm glad that many students spoke about it, identify what pitfalls and the things to watch out for. There are pitfalls. There are things that make you vulnerable. There are places you should not be. There are things you should not even begin to try. Your curiosity should not cross certain boundaries. You too set boundaries around your curiosity. When you hear certain things, when your body is beginning to act certain ways, it's why we started by saying, get knowledge. Knowledge is power. Get to know that there are certain things that are not even available for you until you arrive at certain age. I have a 9-year-old son. No matter how curious he is about driving, I will never give him my car key at this age to try it out. I will help him know that he should not worry. He will have abundant time to drive when he is old enough. And sometimes I tell him my own personal stories, how I too used to feel like he feels. But with patience, a day comes when he too will not only drive vehicles, he will have his own vehicle. So set boundaries even for your curiosities. Let me round up by saying that no means no, no matter how it is said. I heard, let me just say something little about something that someone said innocently here. She did say, you spoke about levels of boundaries, and that the boundaries to your female friends should be a little closer than that of your male friends. Except that the world has become more terrible now, and there's a lot of lesbianism and homosexuality out there. So boundaries are boundaries. You heard what Dr. Nuruddin said yesterday. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody. Sometimes even your parents are not knowledgeable. Sometimes even your parents don't know that these things are wrong. So you should be able to clearly say to your parents, Mommy, this is wrong. You cannot do this. You cannot touch me like this. You cannot say this anymore. This is wrong. And by the Constitution of Nigeria, this is wrong. So your no is your no. Please take that to heart. Understand that your boundaries should be very clear. Be very knowledgeable about your boundaries and enforce them. Enforce them even to your parents. It is not wrong. We have had instances where parents have violated their own children. Every day we hear of violation of pupils and wards and children by their own parents. So enforce boundaries even with your parents. Tell them that this is wrong and that they should not do it again. And when you enforce boundaries, let me say this as I take my seat. When you enforce boundaries, don't smile about it. Yes. Don't smile about enforcing boundaries. Let your face be as affirmative as it can be. Insist that your no is no. Thank you and have a wonderful time.
Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause for Mr. Daniel. Thank you so much for the questions you sent in. They're like really salient. I'm moved. At this juncture, we're going to invite Barrister. We're going to invite Barrister and Mrs. Anne Mwakuda. Would like them to come up so they can respond to our questions. We might not be able to take every single question, but I'm hearing from the convener that there will be a radio session at some point that responds to all your questions, and we hope to get that across to your schools. So please bear with us if we
Are we starting with the questions, or we have one or two things to say? Well, I just want to quickly say that, first of all, good morning, everyone. I'm actually, as a parent, I'm very proud of what I saw and what they are saying. It means that everything that has been said is being understood by all of you, and that you already know. But just like my brother did correct here, the boundaries that you set, don't say between you and the female and all that. Like he rightly said, the issues of lesbianism and homosexuality is also on the high. So, so you just look out for all the signals. Sometimes even your same sex is the person that will want to abuse you. Things are happening quietly. So you have to be very careful. You have to be vigilant. You have to observe. And I liked the girl that was also talking about the uncomplimentary, gifts and all of that. Yes, these are signs. Sometimes it makes you feel you are special, but in reality, it's an avenue to abuse you, because by the time somebody is giving you so much, it is difficult for you to say no when he wants to take something from you, because he has done so much for you. So you are like, he's been nice to me, he did this for me. And that's why, again, a topic for another day, we say when we talk to parents too, that if God has blessed you to a certain level that you can make your children reasonably comfortable, please do it. Because some parents feel it is discipline not to do it. And because they don't do it, the man now or the other sex will want to use that, because he knows your parents cannot even buy you a phone of 15,000. Now he's saying that he wants to buy you a phone of 50 or 60,000. He wants to take you shopping. So in your little way as parents, but that is a topic for another day. You know, so, and then also, sometimes siblings also feel because they are siblings, it doesn't matter the sex, they can dress in each other's presence. You will see a family of boys and girls moving around, coming out from the toilet without. This personally, I know of my friend who told me that it's not a big deal now, they are my siblings. And like you are all grown with everything and you come out of the toilet without towel and you say they are your siblings. Some people do that. And even for parents that, for somebody who started masturbating, he admitted that somebody, an adult, a woman, was doing that in his presence while he was small. So that was where he learned and started developing these urges. So, and that is why, like in Islam, they say when your child, a boy in particular, has reached the age of puberty, he has to move out of the house. He will not live in the house with you because he's matured and anything can happen. Because these things do not have language or colors. It's all about attitude and sometimes circumstances that lead people to do that. I know the issue of media quickly too. Again, a topic for parents. Sometimes we are almost all guilty of it. Sometimes the child is disturbing you too much and you just want to tell the child to go, so you give him the phone. You say you are putting cartoon. So I think the important thing is for parents also to have control, to make sure you check, and then to know the right age to give the child the phone, like he said. And that's why I said, Bami, and you note that by next time, not necessarily next year, this year we'll have to see how we can arrange a conference with parents, because there are so much to tell parents, you know. So, and I'm very happy when one of the children said, you know, students have two faces. It's not students, children. Everyone, you paint the best of pictures to your parents. And when you go again to listen to what your child or your sibling is doing, you'll be shocked that is it the same thing. And that is why we tell parents to try to complement what teachers also are doing. Sometimes when teachers are telling you what your child is doing because they live with this child closely, you believe that it's not my child, or you say, I reject it. It is not possible. It's not my pusher. Everything is glaring, and you say it's not your pusher. You say you are rejecting it. You understand what I'm saying? So when a teacher is telling you some things he has observed about your child, please, with an open mind, listen to the teacher, listen to neighbors, listen to people that live in the same community with you. You go out for work from morning and come back in the evening. You hardly know what is going on in your house. And when you come back, everybody is a saint. When people tell you about what your child is doing, you listen. So let me just leave it at that, because there are so many things to say. But like I said, if we see parents, there are signals. But I must say that I'm extremely very proud of all of you. And it means that everything that is being said here, you encoded. And we hope, like my brother said, be ambassadors of this message to other people. Share this knowledge. We're all like you. We're all once like you. So we know what it is. When you say you are doing guy, like that girl that made a very valid point, we keep saying the opposite sex. But even the girls too have so much to be blamed for when you are seeking for attention. Somebody who became a first lady at one stage, in one state, that's what she said. She said she remembered when she saw a child of abuse, she was weeping. And we're all wondering why she became exceptionally emotional about the situation. But she then said to us, you know, I remember that in my secondary school, I wasn't tall, so my teacher will ask me to go and get him chalk. You know, or when he's in the staff room, he will say I should come and ask me to bring something he knows my hand will not reach. And then he will come and say he's carrying me up. It's now she's realizing, you know, so when she realized he knows my hand will not reach. Why is he always insisting that so the signals are enormous, and that is why you must. And that word she used, that self-value. Nobody disrespects you without your consent. Nobody disrespects you without your consent. You understand? And that is why you have to develop that. You have to have that in you. Sometimes people don't like your guts. They don't like your bluntness. Just know that you are being truthful, and what you are saying, you can say it anywhere, and you can start. Me, if I'm to talk among 100 men and I'm the only woman, I won't even realize that I'm the only woman. My own is to do my work and go. So you don't allow anybody intimidate you, but you must prove your worth. It's not just about, no, I don't say because I'm a woman, no, I will not take it. No, prove your worth. The respect will come naturally. So I pray that God blesses all of you. and guide you aright. And when you see some of these things that they are saying, please speak out. They say, shout or talk, shout and run away. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. What more can I say? My mother has said it all. But I just want to tell the children that, one, I'm very proud of you. It shows that you listen properly. And I hope as you leave, you don't forget that. Go ahead and practice this. And just as she said, be an ambassador and tell others. And also, let this be an avenue for you to keep an eye on yourselves and your peers. Now that you know, if you see any sign of abuse, you know what to do. You speak out. Somebody who spoke about protecting themselves as students and as girls. There's so many ways you can protect yourself. One of you said self-defense class. I'm happy in lots of the schools today we have karate and we have taekwondo going on. It's not for fun. I'm also into taekwondo. And the beautiful thing is that whether you like it or not, if you're into self-defense class, it's easy. Your reflex, you defend yourself immediately once you see sign of danger. So please, I implore you all, whether you're a boy or a girl, whatever religion you belong to, just get involved in that class. It will save you one day. Self-defense, it's important. You can't touch me from the back and I won't react. Immediately, you just see me, I'll kick you. Because what? I learned it. My husband too knows how to do it. My daughter at the moment is doing it. So it's something you do to protect yourself. It's only you that can protect yourself. 2, you always learn how to carry an alarm, like a whistle. Whistle blowing helps you. Even in a lonely place, there's a way you blow the whistle and you see help from nowhere comes. Don't even go. All this lungu. But it actually helps, like you in school, just take it as part of your things you put in your school bag. A little whistle, it will help you. Whistle helped a family from robbery attack. The robbers were already about entering. The wife was still in the room. Immediately, she remembered her whistle, and she started blowing it. Her children picked up theirs and started blowing it. Immediately, the robbers ran away. So it can actually help you. 3, somebody is laughing. Mommy is laughing, but it actually works. 3, always learn how to keep a safe distance. You know, somebody can look at you and even get you nude by ordinarily staring at you. Ordinarily staring at you, they've sized you up. You know, there's some eyes that they will look and you will feel so embarrassed. So please, once you see any sign or somebody is greeting you and the next thing they're tickling your palm, it's an abuse. It's not until when they touch your bum and everything that they've assaulted you. Even those tickling of palm or a guy is staring at you completely is an assault. So when you see such sign, what do? Stay a distance. Please do not keep short. Report it immediately. Because if you keep quiet and you act like you jiggle yourself over it, you're giving the person sign. The person proceeds and please, we don't want such to happen. As I said, my mother has said it all. The benefits of boundaries are enormous. It develops self-discipline. It encourages responsibilities as a person. It promotes respect and dignity. It enhances your safety as a human being. And finally, it supports a healthy relationship and a healthy growth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we're just going to jump right into the questions. You know, throughout, right from yesterday, we've been speaking about boundaries, and we've been speaking about setting these boundaries. And it looks like the conversation has always been, before the boundaries are broken, set it. And our very first question is interesting because the person is asking, when you've given someone your body and you don't want again, so the boundary has been broken before, but you're trying to set it now and the person is still insisting, how does one address that situation?
Well, it's very simple. If you don't know, if I didn't know, now I know. I say I no do again. It's not by force. Because somebody will say that even a prostitute has a right. She's a prostitute, though, commercial sex worker. But she has a right to say, with your money, I no do. You can't compel her. If you do, you are committing an offense. So because a lot of people didn't know that you could do this, say don't cross over. Now that you have learned, you have given yourself, and you know the ills that is surrounding it, you have heard everything that everybody is saying, I'm not interested again. So by act or by express, you let the person know, I'm not in it again, and that's all.
Definitely expressly give your no and make sure to speak up, report to someone. There are issues you cannot handle.
Follow up with your attitude. Because
yes.
You can't be saying no and every time you are with that person. When you say no, you also make sure you withdraw. So that opportunity is not even created again.
Exactly.
It's called self-discipline.
Self-discipline. Yes. So to Mrs. Anne, someone's question is, what if it is your parents that molested you?
Yes, somebody said something like that. One of the panels asked, what if your parents are encroaching into your boundaries? And she was like, she said she's going to talk to them, set limits. But there are times you set limits and it doesn't work. That's when you have to report and speak out. We have lots of cases where fathers are violating their daughters. And even the mother, when they tell their mother, she does nothing about it. So that's why you speak out. Your school has counseling section. Don't hesitate. Go to them. They will take it up. Because if you decide to go to the police station as a minor, definitely they need an adult that will follow you. Law enforcement agency, but you are still a minor. Do you understand? You can speak out and you can reach out to any one of us.
Psychological, to go through this psychosocial service, and then now that some of the children are here, they will understand. Because some will be shocked that how can your father do that to you? Oh, but it's because he loves me. So it's quite a dicey situation. But again, like Anne said, bottom line, still have someone to speak to. Have someone to tell, so that at least the journey can start, and then probably with a lot of efforts and understanding, there will be a solution and it will stop.
Yeah, so how can they access these psychosocial services?
Yes, well, there are quite a number of NGOs too, and for the government, like under the Ministry of Women Affairs, you can go to the Ministry of Women Affairs, and it's there in Rayuwa Sexual Assault Referral Center. Ministry of Justice, there is Department for Gender and Domestic Violence. Even as a student, you go to Ministry of Education. Go and meet Director for Education. You understand? Even in the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Women Affairs, you can report. A girl reported her own situation to a teacher, and it is not that she reported to a teacher. I will share this with you. The school is here in Mina. The teacher noticed the girl is very intelligent, but the teacher noticed in between that she was getting withdrawn and her performance was dropping. He noticed closely this particular teacher who just started teaching them like 2 months. But by the time he engaged her, she was able to confess to him that by the time she followed her sister down from their town to here, at the age from 9, the husband of her elder sister was already fingering her for some months and then started sleeping with her for 4 years, unknown to her own elder sister of same mother, same father. So by the time she told the teacher, he spoke to us, and by the time we went to speak to the elder sister, and I went to her working place, and when I spoke to her, she was like, no, mommy, it's not possible now. And her sister was in the vehicle. I said, okay, enter. And she enters, and she saw her sister. And the sister said, sister, it's true. I didn't want to break your marriage. You are the one sponsoring me. It's because of you that I'm in school, and he has won. So you see, when you are very observant, because some people don't want to speak, and thank God now the girl has been taken away. She's in another place, continue with her education. But again, to prosecute him was a problem.
So, sorry, please. Just like we discussed yesterday, the teachers that will find out, do you understand? They hardly that, you're somebody that they are comfortable with you. That's when they can tell you. Do you understand? So please.
Okay. Thank you very much. And to our final question, I think this is a very important question because we've so far been speaking of gender-based violence and sexual. A lot of this is happening. People are getting flashes and emotional boundaries, but I get insulted and bullied through the internet.
Yes.
You'll be the ones, like we are hoping in our next session, some of you will also be resource persons that will come and talk to us, because you talking to authorities, when you see a classmate is doing something that you know is not correct, as friends, call him or her, warn them, talk to them, let them know that it is bad, so that at your level you can even stop it. Sometimes it works, but if it doesn't work, then you report to the authority. So my words are that I hope you have all learned something, and that like you have learned, you are going to tell you had. She said, we just keep talking about these things on paper, or in conferences, in workshop, but does it really have effect? How are we able to rate that what we are saying or doing is working? So, but we hope that even in the minutest, with what they have learned, the society will be better, because they will also be ambassadors to others. I don't think there's anything here that we did that is not useful. So shine your eyes, be your brother's keeper, and try to have that self-value, like one of your colleagues said here, and have that self-esteem. And try to also be very, very, very prayerful. You know, when you are a very prayerful person, these things don't come to your way. So prayer has a big role to play in your lives. Don't play with your prayers. If you pray, some of these things will not come. Before it gets to you, something will just hit it. It will not come. Okay? And before it will get to you, there will be what? Holy Ghost fire.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for our panelists, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Ma. Well done.
Thank you, Ma. Questions, but I have good news. The convener was just telling me that there's going to be a radio session, like I mentioned earlier, and they're going to bring on board all the teachers. Before you leave, help us by dropping your contact so we can reach out to you when it's time for that. Thank you very much. Now, to something I'm really interested in. Like they said yesterday, I'm an actor. I'm also a filmmaker. You know, I love films because I believe they are very popcorn, but enjoy.
You're saying something. I'm good to the school. Yes, we have that program. Yes. Oh yes. Good. We're definitely doing that. Yes. It's part of our follow-up. We go to the school. Okay.
that serious. But thank you so much, sir. I'm really grateful. I'll do something about it. I'm really grateful, sir. How did I say, sir? Yes, sir. Sir, yes. Don't worry. Your principal just called. You said you get distracted, you isolate yourself, your grades are getting poor, you are moody. What is the problem? I noticed though, but I should give you time. Maybe it's just one of those days. I, Mom is nothing. You. Mom is nothing. I'll be fine.
I don't know if anyone has questions from the film, questions you want to ask the producer so we can do a Viva session with him. Do you have questions to, tell us a little bit about why he made this film and also answer your questions? Appreciate him.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. So I believe it has been a very wonderful session since we started yesterday. We've had so many things to learn about, rape and child sexual abuse. Initiator of this be around, and even the ones we get the opportunity to hear of are even little than the ones that are even covered eventually that you don't even have the opportunity to hear about. So so that's just, so when I got the broadcast, I saw the message that a scheme like this needs a film to actually feature in their conference, because being a filmmaker, we make film and we look into the society, look at some things that we can actually pitch our idea to the society. And then was so excited when I got the information that, okay, the film has been selected to be played for the conference. Oh, wow. So the major idea is about, now this film was born out of research, look into the society, the major cause of these problems, how it's going to be, how the victims can actually heal from it, and so many other things. And I really appreciate our panelists and everybody that has spoken so far. They've done justice to everything, the cause, the boundaries, how to set boundaries, identify them, and how to prevent people from breaking your boundaries. So I want to appreciate you, Mas, for the wonderful thing that you have done. So this film is actually just to give it a practical or a pictorial view of everything that has been said. The cause, if you look into the film, you'll see that most of the time, the father is not always around. Of course, he's on a business trip going around. And even the mother that is at home does not really have time. And even when she actually noticed, but, she doesn't have the time to even check it out or something like that before it actually, turned to something that is very bogus. And so, and you can see the daughter, which is what they have also highlighted. They will hardly speak. You will see they will not speak, except the person they can actually confide in. So, and got so good, they took her to, a therapy where she was able to open up to the therapy. And then from there, they took her up from there and gave her, the things that she can actually heal from. So that is, so the major idea of the film is to, complement all the theories and everything that has been said so far. Now you can see it pictorically, you can see it, how it is being done, how it leads from one stage to another, because this thing we call rape and sexual abuse is a stage. It doesn't just happen. Nobody will just come to you and, it happens like that. It's a stage. It's a process. So when you start opening the space for somebody to enter, then it becomes something that is so enormous, and you would not be able to overcome it. So, but thank God she was able to open up, and then the culprit was apprehended. And look at it, it was her uncle for that matter, someone that you can actually confide in, that you think that is one of your, guardians. Look at him doing such a thing. But after the end, he was able to be apprehended and then to take into custody. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Such good work you are doing. Right now, we're just going to take questions. You had a question. Just about this movie that you've seen now. Are there any questions? All right, no questions. So please, let's give a rain clap for the producer. Rain clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now make it rain.
Check. All right, please, okay, well, we've celebrated him. Awesome work you did. I just want to quickly say that when we put out
when we put out the calls for a short film for the conference, because we really wanted having screening films like we did the last time, then we put out a call, and we actually had different submissions. So people sent us movies from everywhere, all across everywhere. But why we chose this film, it wasn't because probably the film was probably the best shot. There are other films with different with different qualities, you know. But why we chose this film was because of the narration and how it supports the sub-theme of the conference, because we're looking at parents' participation. In fact, as a convener, when I was watching that movie with my team, and all of us unanimously agreed to pick that film. And it was towards the end what the mother did with the child. From the therapy that was telling the mother not to blame the child, be there to support the child, you know, and the mother holding the child and being there to support the child. That was the reason we picked this film. And it's a narration that we've been talking about up from yesterday till today, that the victim cannot be the one to be blamed, that support needs to be given to the victim, you know. And I think probably even maybe when we have the parents conference, we might want to, Barrister Mero might want to screen a movie like this again, so that parents can actually see their role, yes, in supporting their child in the case of any abuse. All right, right now we'd like to bring up Longshank Azael. She did a song yesterday. How many of you enjoyed the song yesterday? Do you want to hear that song again? What? Okay, good. They heard you. Have you heard them? All right, please put your hands together for Longshank Azael as she comes up. Today we'll try to put up the lyrics on the screen so that you can see what she was saying and just have a good time. This is about our closing session.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me again. So I'm supposed to teach today the song so that we would have something that we would carry in our hearts. I've learned that sometimes when you give informations, you tend to forget, but when you encapsulate it in a song, when you remember the rhythm, you remember the instruction. So, media, do we have the lyrics? Thank you. So, my keyboardist is on his way. Please bear with us. I'll just teach us. I know we're very fast. Are we together? Are we going to be very fast and we will learn it? So you can equally write it too. So you teach your peers. I think I'll start with the chorus first. The stanzas maybe. So help me with the setting boundaries, liberate your life part. Thank you. Setting boundaries liberates your life. Let me hear you. 1, 2, go. Are we together? Are we eating? Because they are eating and... Thank you, ma. Yes. Setting boundaries liberate your life. Can I hear you? 1, 2, go. Okay, that was nice. We'll try it one more time. Setting boundaries liberates your life. 1, 2, sing. Okay, that's nice. Learn to say not yet. Learn to say no. Let me hear you go. Okay, thank you. Learn to take a stand and let's go. Take your time to bloom, my friend. Take your time to bloom, my friend. 1, 2, go. Take your time to bloom, my friend. Good. Take your time. Come from the beginning. Let's go. 1, 2, go. Setting boundaries liberates your life. Again, setting boundaries liberates your life. Learn to say not yet. Learn to say no. Learn to take a stand and take your time to bloom, my friend. Take your time to bloom, my friend. Okay, let's go to the first stanza. Diamond hiding on a shelf, a story yet untold. 1, 2, go. Diamond hiding on a shelf, a story yet untold. Can we try that together? Let's go. Diamond hiding on a shelf, a story yet untold. Good. A tree that's budding out itself. You're getting to know your worth. Can we try that? A tree that's budding out itself. You're getting to know your worth. Let's start from the beginning. 1, 2, go. Diamond hiding on a shelf. A story yet untold. A tree that's budding out itself. You're getting to know your worth. Okay. You're surrounded by all forms of evil, trying to... Sorry, let me cut it. You're surrounded by all forms of evil. Can we do that? 1, 2, go. You're surrounded by all forms of evil, trying to mess your mind. Let me hear you. Trying to mess your mind. Wanting to waste your life. Can we try that? Wanting to waste your life. So I'll merge the from you're surrounded. You're surrounded by all forms of evil, trying to mess your mind. Wanting to waste your life. Can we try that? 1, 2, go. You're surrounded by all forms of evil, trying to mess your mind. Wanting to waste your... Thank you. Okay, sorry. I need one of the students to volunteer to come and sing with me here so that we'll do that together. Thank you. So that we can run from the beginning to the end. The second part, I need you to go and gift it to your parents. So we'll quickly do that. Then we'll just sing it together. Who is volunteering? 1, 2, okay, 3 persons. Ishaya, do we have 3 mics? I need 3. Okay. Please pick so that won't be biased. Yeah? Yes, 1 guy, 2 ladies. Siba, she's smart girl. Umba, you have come. Thank you. 1, 2, 1 more person. Okay, come. You will share mic. You have stood up so you can come. Thank you. Just pick a mic. Pick a mic. We need 1 more mic. 2 people can share 1. Thank you for coming to help me. Awesome. Okay. Diamond hide. Let me take it once before they settle down. Diamond hiding. I hope you know this is you. This is like my letter to you. This is who you are. So don't allow anyone make you feel your story is yet to be told. People can make you feel that this is all. This is not all. You have not even seen anything. Even me now, I've not even seen anything. So when you feel like this is just your youth. It's not even your prime. So there's so much. So don't truncate yourself. No, it's for them. Do they need it? They are professionals now. Shift now. See space. We are plenty. Don't hide behind me. Thank you. share with her. That mic is loud, so you don't.
Shelf, a story yet untold. A tree that's budding out itself. You're getting to know your worth. You're surrounded by all forms of evil, trying to mess your mind, wanting to waste your life. Awesome. Can we go together? 1, 2, 3, let's go. Diamond hiding on a shelf, a story and untold. A tree that's budding onto a tree that's budding out itself. You're getting to know your words. You're surrounded by all forms of evil, trying to mess your mind, wanting to waste your life. Come try the chorus. Setting boundaries liberates your life. Setting boundaries liberates your life. Learn to say not yet. Learn to say no. Learn to take a stand and take your time to bloom, my friend. Take your time to bloom, my friend. Thank you. Second stanza now. Mother double, watch me. Not everyone around loves me like you do. Is it too long? I should cut it in two. Okay. Mother double, watch me. 1, 2, go.
Mother devil, watch me.
Again, let's go.
Devil, watch me.
Not everyone around loves me like you do.
Everyone
around loves me like, let's do it together now. Mother double, watch me. Not everyone around loves me like you do. Go. Mother double, watch me. Not everyone around loves me like you do. Father, protect me. Fight for my right to be innocent. Can we go?
Father, protect me.
Fight for my right to be innocent. You rest a bit, then go. Father, protect me. Fight for my right to be innocent. 1, 2, go. Father, protect me. Fight for my right to be innocent. I'm surrounded by all forms of evil, trying to mess my mind, wanting to waste my time. From the beginning, 1, 2, go, let's go. Mother double, watch me. Not everyone around loves me like you do. Father, protect me. Fight for my right to be innocent. I'm surrounded by all forms of evil, trying to mess my mind, wanting to waste my time. Back to the chorus. Setting boundaries. Can we go?
Let's take your life.
Setting boundaries liberates my life. Learn to say not yet. Learn to say no. Learn to take a stand and take your time to bloom, my friend. Take your time to bloom, my friend. For the last time, setting boundaries. One, let's go. Setting boundaries, liberate your life. Setting boundaries, liberate your life. Learn to say not yet. Learn to say not yet. Learn to say no. Learn to take a stand and take your time to bloom, my friend. Take your time to bloom, my friend. Okay, I think we'll just quickly do that. Can we stand? All the students, help me. You will sing it to your friends. Tell them, let them learn to say no. Let them take their time to bloom. Are we ready? Let's stretch. We'll start from the beginning. And I want to hear everyone as loud as you can. Oh, thank you. That was encouraging. Diamond hiding. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sing. Diamond hiding on a shelf. About itself, you're getting to know from the beginning. 1. Diamond hiding on. Diamond hiding on a shelf. A story yet untold. Oh, a tree that's budding. A tree that's budding out itself. You're getting to know your worth. You're surrounded by some clouds of evil, trying to mess your mind, wanting to waste your life. Setting boundaries liberates your life. Oh, setting boundaries.
Setting boundaries liberates your life.
Now turn to your friend and tell them, learn to say not yet.
Learn to say